Hello, today I'm going to be talking about how to take the IKEA ISKÄRNA table lamp, as shown in the page here, and make it work with Zigbee, which is the protocol used with IKEA's home smart automation stuff, and in my case here, Philips Hue. So, as you can see here, the light itself is this sort of head shape. And in the website example here, it's wearing hats, sweatbands, glasses, goggles, Mickey Mouse ears, all sort of things can be used to accessorize things. You can accessorize it with your own sort of headwear, and it looks pretty cool. But out of the box, it sort of comes with two modes, just like white or colours. It's not very easy to control. And if you're like me, everything else in your house is smart lighting, and you kind of want all sort of fancy lamps and everything else to be remote controlled. So I have with me here in ISKÄRNA, that's basically in the box, taken out to have a look that it exists, but it's basically brand new. These are in the UK £25. There's certainly loads of them. My nearest IKEA, there's basically a pallet load that was delivered months back, and there's still about 40 according to the online stock checker. I mean, this is in London, so I mean, if obviously your nearest one doesn't have one, then there's another IKEA that's probably another half hour away. Anyway, so yeah, the box has got some ideas of the accessories that could be used with it: top hats, headphones, cap masks, scarves. So, get the flick around, open this up. Inside the box you've got the head itself. Put there. Power cable. And power plug. And obviously some instructions. It's a very simple 24-volt transformer that then plugs into this cable here. It's supposed to be kit safe, so it's all designed with a little bit of extra insulation. And if I plug the cable into the back here and press the singular button on the back, plug the cable in, plug it into the mains, singular cable on the back. You can see that it sort of glows and then changes colour every time. Obviously it's really oversaturated, everything here, but you can sort of see the reflection of the colours in my hand. Press the button again, it stops the colour changing, and I press it again, it turns it off. So yeah, it's not particularly obviously easy to control. So what we're going to do is going to unplug it again, put it on its side, and to modify it, what we're going to need is a small flathead and a regular crosshead screwdriver, a pair of wire cutters, and a pair of cable strippers. And for the new controller, I have got one of these, which is a RGB LED controller. It's from AliExpress, but they do exist on Amazon as well. Just to flip the page, show you the page. This is basically, it is the FUT 037Z, which Z for Zigbee, and 037 basically means it's an RGB only controller. We don't need the different types here basically are for things that are white and cool white, or RGB and white, or RGB and different colours of white, or we have, when we take this apart, we'll see all that we have is basically colour changes for red, green and blue. So flipping back to the head, on the back you can see that there is a singular screw here. So do this, undo, if we look on the inside, there is, see if we can just improve the lighting into this a bit. There's yet another screw on the inside here that we want to get out, and behind this plastic cover is the circuit board for the existing setup. And what we're going to do is we're going to take off the circuit board, or basically just clip the wires off it, and basically replace it with our RGB controller that we bought. The RGB controller is about £12–13 off AliExpress. If you want to get one in a hurry, you can pick them up off Amazon as well, but they will be a little bit more expensive, in the region of £20. Basically, what matters is the model number, which is FUT037Z, and to be fair, it's a fairly common box that that many people seem to stock these days. So, got the circuit board out, and what I am going to do is just flip it over and look at the other side. Basically, all there is a cable going to the power socket in the back, and a four-core cable going to the light on the inside of the head. And we're not going to mess with that. We know what that looks like. And it's not really important to start dismantling the head more. If you want to take it apart, play and explore, of course I encourage that, but yeah, it's not essential to what we need to do right now. So what I'm going to do is take the wire clippers and snip the power side as close to the circuit board as possible. I'm actually going to take the circuit board off to do this. To make life a little bit easier. And do the same with the 4 cables going into the light that's in the head itself. So this was the circuit board. Here, it's probably not very much in focus here, but it's worth noting that on this one, curiously, that the colours go RBG rather than RGB. So we're going to have to do something fun with the wiring in a moment, but we'll come back to that. So, with the wire cutters, strip some about 1/4 of an inch, or about 10mm off the ends of the cable. And then separate the ends out, which will be quite easy to do at this point. And just tear so it's slightly apart, and we've got slightly split cable there. Then we want to take the RGB Zigbee controller out of the box, and as you can see, they've all got nice screw terminals here. There's 2 ways of powering it. You can either use a power adapter, which we don't have, or just take the existing. What we're going to do is take the existing power adapter and just take it into this V+, V- box. So the on the power cable there are two different types of cable, one of which has got a sort of dark mark on it. It's probably just about visible under the light here. and one of which is a plain. The one with the sort of dark stripe on is the negative red, and the one that is plain white is the positive. And this will go into the screw terminals here. Again, let's see if I can get the lights sorted for that. As you can see, one's voltage positive, one's voltage negative. So we want the plain one into the voltage positive. And the striped one into the voltage negative. So we'll feed those in, screw them tight. So yeah, now we've done the power side. Next, the fun thing to do will be the lighting. So I'm going to strip off again about 1/4 inch or about 5 to 10 millimeters of the ends of all these cables coming from the head, and again just split them out. Then we'll do the same again on the head. We know that there's on the far side that there is a voltage positive. It's not focusing particularly well. There we go. BGR and voltage positive. So, as I mentioned earlier, on the circuit board itself, and it's not going to focus, but in the bottom corner, on this one at least, it says RBG. So as you can see, the letters are slightly alphabet souped up here. So we know the voltage positive again is the white wire. And then we're going to take the wire with the narrow stripes on, and I believe that should be red based on what we've taken off the circuit board. So these will cross over from how they were initially, which is exciting. And then blue is the crossed wire, or the wire. Sorry, it's a crossed wire, and it's also the wire with the crosses on. And then green is the wire which has got the long black stripes on in this case. So once we've done all that, we can take the power cable and plug it back into the power socket. And as you can see, our head now glows. And what I'm going to do is get my phone and attempt a Zigbee pairing with this. So in the Philips Hue app, we go to Settings and Lights and Add and Search, and then we press the button on the Zigbee controller 3 times. And the head starts glowing. And once it blinks, it will be found. We'll give it a name. This is my third one, so I'm going to go Headlight 3. As you can see, as the ball moves around, the colour changes and it is all integrated nicely with the app. If the colours don't match up as you expect on the app itself, then you probably have miswired the RGB cables, so it's worth checking those. Easy thing to do is, if you are really struggling, just attach the connections one at a time. Keep the voltage positive cable in, but then just attach the red, set everything to red, and make sure that yes, the head does turn red, or then do the same with blue and then do the same with green. Just satisfied that everything's working, the last thing to do is put it all back together. So that involves making sure you've got the clip the base back in with the putting the front in first, because that is where the sort of hook is, and then it's easy just to press down on it from the back. Place the screw in, the white screw that came out first. Just grab a screwdriver, drive that back in. You can plug it back in, and as it still works. Got a headlight, still changes colour. As you can see in my hand, it's quite bright, but yeah, still changes as with the phone. Really responsive, really quite nice, and again, I can tie that in with all manner of Hue accessories. So in the room where we display these upstairs, turn up the light switch on the wall, which is one of a Hue dimmer switch, and all the lights in the ceiling, all these lights, everything else turns off in sync, and it's brilliant. And yeah, that's it. And again, perfectly accessorizable. So here's a head I've taken earlier, and in the app, it's in a different room. So as I use the app to set the scene, all these lights go with it as well, and that's it.